Hey, how's it going today? I'm Skitty Beans, and today we are going to be watching True Facts, Not Dead Possum and Their Weird Defenses. This is from Z Frank, so I've been enjoying his content a lot. So we're gonna watch about possums. If you do get a chance, I would appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe. It would help me out a bunch. And I have Z Frank's video linked in my description below, so be sure to go watch his stuff and subscribe to him. He does great videos. All right, let's see their weird defenses.
This episode sponsored by Brilliant. On a scale of 1 to dead, how dead is this opossum? Why do some snakes do this? Are they drunk? And will this opossum...
Why do they do that? That is weird. Is opossum? Are both acceptable? Is one more acceptable than the other? I don't. what are the rules in opossum pronunciation here?
How dead is this opossum? Why do some snakes do this? Are they drunk? And will this opossum live to see another day? You're about to find out.
True facts is not appropriate for children, nor for adults who don't act like children. Fair enough.
I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't want to meet one of those in a dark alley. No.
I would actually love a possum though, even though I know they have really short lifespans, but I like them. I like possums. I say possum, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's right, or we're both right. Possum, opossum. I don't know.
You need a nice bright alley so you can get a good look at that face. Looks like a number 2 pencil got busy with a werewolf got busy with a werewolf. But opossums like this one, Jerry, punctuation. But opossums like this one are lovers, not fighters. And when I say opossum, I mean the ones in the Americas in the order Didelphimorphia, not the possums that live in Australia. Very different animals.
Oh, I didn't know that though. There's a difference between ours and Australia's. I had no clue about that. That's interesting. I think our possums are cute though. I think they're cute.
Order Didelphimorphia, not the possums that live in Australia. Very different animals. Way to screw things up, Australia. There are 126 species of opossum, but only one.
There's 126? I didn't realize that. Holy. Who knew? I mean, obviously this guy and probably lots of other people, but I did not know that. That is crazy.
Things up, Australia. There are 126 species of opossum, but only one lives in North America, the Virginia opossum. But down south, there's a woolly opossum, a big-ear opossum, fat-tailed, short-tailed, even a 4-eyed opossum.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. They all kind of look similar though. They're cute. This one looks like it is stressed to the max. This is my spirit animal right here. Always stressed. That is me. That is me. Ours are cute though. Oh, I love them.
Only one lives in North America, the Virginia opossum. But down south, there's a woolly opossum, a big-ear opossum, fat-tailed, short-tailed, even a 4-eyed opossum. But you'll notice none of them are called the 2-headed opossum. It wouldn't help distinguish them, because in all these species, the males have a 2-headed penis. Now,
what? They have a what? Oh my goodness. This one looks like it's so like anxiety-ridden, like shaky. Poor thing.
Help distinguish them,
it's
because
okay.
In all these species, the males have a 2-headed penis. Now, I can show you one, but only if you show me the one you're imagining first.
Oh, no. I don't want to play this game.
All right, we'll do a drawing. How's that? Now, the opossum penis is like the double-barrel shotgun of the penis world. Split down the middle and each side connected to its own testicle. 2 shots. Surprisingly, science tells us this is not designed for nasal sex, but rather for the 2 vaginas and 2 uteruses that female opossums have up in their business.
What? I did not realize this. Their anatomy is wild. This is crazy.
Rather for the 2 vaginas and 2 uteruses that female opossums have up in their business. Now, the signs that opossums are actually quite agreeable start early. Take a look at this opossum sperm. Jerry, those are pool noodles. Thank you. I know what you're thinking. 2-headed penis, 2-tailed sperm makes sense. But those are actually two individual sperm cells that came together. Inside the
Oh.
male opossum, when two sperm cells meet, they will often rotate around each other until they line up in a particular way, which causes the heads to stick together. But more importantly, for their tails to start beating in synchrony. When they start to do that, the pair can swim straighter and faster with less energy than if they were alone. And single unpaired sperm have a tendency to swim in circles.
What? This is wild. Holy, this is not what I was expecting to learn. This was not on my bingo card of things to learn. This is really fascinating though.
They were alone, and single unpaired sperm have a tendency to swim in circles. In any case, when a pair reaches an egg cell, they split apart, shake hands, and may the best sperm win sort of thing. This sort of collaboration happens in quite a number of animals. Here's bull sperm, for example. Here's ant sperm. Looks like two sperm gangs are about to rumble. The
Sperm gangs. Oh my gosh. And that was ant sperm? Uh this is this was way more than this is wild. But I mean, I guess this was not on my radar of things to learn of how sperm reacts.
bull sperm, for example. Here's ant sperm. Looks like two sperm gangs are about to rumble. The science hippies call it forming a sperm train. It's a good title for a movie, a buddy comedy. Two best friends
Oh
wind
my
up falling in
god.
love with the same girl. Or something like, many get on board, but only one will arrive.
Oof.
Sperm train, coming soon. No, too obvious. Anyway, when one of these little bastards finally gets inside of an egg cell, that's when it starts to get stressful. This little blobule here only has about 2 weeks to grow inside of mama. Opossums are marsupials, and the rudimentary placentas they have aren't enough to protect the babies and keep them safe from their mother's immune system. So, these little parasites get kicked out early. Things start moving quickly around day 9, and by day 11, they look a bit like the love child of Charizard.
Oh my god. It looks like a Pokemon. That's pretty fast though. That's actually really fast as far as development and everything goes though. That is pretty impressive.
Moving quickly around day 9, and by day 11, they look a bit like the love child of Charizard and Casper the Ghost. Looks like a Haunt Me Elmo doll, like a space gopher. Looks like a tardigrade trick-or-treating as Barney. And by day 13, it's time for these little zombie gummy bears to leave. At this point, they're around the size of a bee and blind. But during development, a few things were fast-tracked to help with what happens next. Those
They don't even look like they're real. I mean, look at the fact that this turns into a possum is so crazy because this doesn't even I would think this was like a baby lizard or something.
But during development, a few things were fast-tracked to help with what happens next. Those cute little claws there are actually temporary and will fall off, but not until after they've helped the baby crawl unassisted from the birth canal to the mother's pouch. That's 4 or 5 body lengths, and they do it blind. Without sight, they
My
rely on their
gosh.
precocious little snout to smell and feel their way to the nipples. Once they get there, they can use their surprisingly strong tongues to help latch on tight until the nipple inflates inside their mouth.
I didn't realize they had so many when they were born, but I mean, I guess they're pretty tiny. I guess I mean, like, can we see the insides of them through? Like, is this like translucent skin that we're seeing here? Because I mean, they definitely don't look very big or super developed. In that sense, that's kind of wild.
Form a tight keel. On average, opossum mummies have 13 nipples. In this case, 13 isn't unlucky. You know what is? 14. Because opossums will
Ugh.
sometimes have more babies than nipples. And in that case, it's sort of like a game of musical chairs. Except, with nipples and to the death. Once they're
Oof.
safely inside the pouch, these flesh bees have time to turn into proper opossum babies. It's cushy in there, not really teaching them independence.
Aw.
And I'll say it, this is the sort of parenting that leads to spoiled children. You can draw your own conclusions here, but look what happens when they get big enough to leave the pouch. They go straight to the mother's back. And yes, it's cute. I mean, it's great for Instagram, but look at mom. The face says it all.
She's, I mean, oh, Mama Possum, it's okay. She's just like, oh, help me, please, somebody help me.
Yes, it's cute. I mean, it's great for Instagram.
It is
but look
cute.
at Mom. The face says it all. It's the mother of resting bitch faces right there. So eventually it's time to kick those little fuckers off and let them fend for themselves. Now, I don't know how much fending you've done, but I can tell you that if you want to get your fend on, it does help to have some equipment. They have this bullwhip of a tail covered with these scaly patches of keratin. And you could mess somebody up with one of those, whoopsh, take an ankle out. But they don't. No one bothered to teach them that. They end up using them to carry sticks and leaves back to the den.
Oh.
I mean, I guess they're good for balance, and when they're young, they can hang upside down on them. And by adulthood, they're too heavy. Oop, didn't see the tree there? But even if they don't have a fearsome tail, they do have old man hands. Like they're born with the hands of a 70-year-old carpenter.
Oh my gosh, they kind of are. I wonder, but that's got to make it easier for them to grab stuff and do things, right?
Do have old man hands. Like they're born with the hands of a 70-year-old carpenter. With the nail fungus. Which somehow always seems to look like their shorter finger. They're not.
It kind of does look like their shorter finger. It does. Is it because they don't have like a pinky? Is that why? Because they're all kind of like the same length. It kind of looks like their little hand's cute though. I like it. I would hold its hand.
And their back feet look even more like old man hands.
Oh, wow.
They've got a little opposable big toe and butt cheek palms. Palms that are covered in friction ridges for maximum
Butt cheek palms. Now I can't unsee it. I can't see it now.
toe and butt cheek palms. Palms that are covered in friction ridges for maximum grippage. Makes for a memorable handshake, a foot shake, but not exactly a weapon. But who needs fearsome claws when you have those teeth, right? Oops, looks like you got a little salad stuck in there. And if you're counting, there's 50 of them, the most of any land mammal. And they've got this bony ridge up top where muscles attach, so they can chew right through the bones of a mouse. But you can't bring a nutcracker to a fist fight, am I right? I am. And at the end of the day, all these open...
Oh my god, this one looks like it's so unhinged. This one has had a day. This one has had a day. I feel this though. I feel like this is how I feel some days. This embodies some days for me, for sure.
You can't bring a nutcracker to a fist fight, am I right? I am. And at the end of the day, all these open-mouthed, toothy displays are mainly just bluster. So, overall, a bit short on the defense. I'm telling you, lovers, not fighters. However, let me tell you something. They can stand still. Like those dudes dressed up as the Statue of Liberty busking for change on the promenade sort of standing still. I'm talking mime-level shit. Where were we? Oh, right. This oh shit now freeze response is actually quite common. I bet you've done it. See some jackass friend of a friend come round a corner. Oh shit now freeze. Hope they don't see you. Just blend into the background. Like a deer caught in the headlights. Just gonna move you right over here.
Oh
Rabbits,
my gosh.
they're good at this sort of thing. Jerry, did we have to buy the footage for this? I mean, it's just standing still. We could have done a photo. No, not now. Well, now we paid for the footage and the still. Damn it, Jerry. Even blind beach snails have the oh shit now freeze. Look at the little one. Bumps into a big predatory Agaronia snail and just stops. It works. The big guy senses something but just lunges forward. Anyway,
That's a big snail. Oh my goodness.
this freezing behavior is normally for when an animal
It's kind of crazy it's that big though. Like, that's kind of wild.
has spotted a threat but still thinks it hasn't been detected, which is a bit of a stretch for this opossum. I mean, it's moving its head as you walk by. But while frozen, the animal is still aware and quite in control, just waiting for a moment to escape. And this is quite a bit different from another defense that the opossum is famous for. You've heard of it. It's often called playing possum, doesn't
Oh yeah, that right. Because they play dead. Don't they kind of stink when they do this too?
tell you much. A bit self-referential. Sometimes it's, Jerry, that's a dog. Sometimes it's called playing dead, and it can certainly look like that. But it's just one example of something that happens all over the animal kingdom that the science hippies call tonic immobility. These animals aren't playing or pretending, though. This is an involuntary reflex. It's not really in their control. They stop moving, often in a contorted or death-like pose, unresponsive, and this lasts for seconds or up to an hour. It's usually triggered by being royally f***ed, like if you're in someone's mouth, or grabbed, or restrained, or turned upside down. Or in the case of a chicken when it stares at a line, don't ask. And listen, this response does occasionally seem to help animals avoid death. For an insect, it can actually be part of an escape plan. If you're holding onto a leaf like this wood tiger moth and you suddenly go stiff, you drop to the underbrush and disappear. Same thing if you're flying. Pew! Unexpected. It also might change the calculus of an attack. Battles between ant colonies are usually many against many. So if a vulnerable soft skeleton juvenile fire ant keels over, its attacker has to move on to the next fight.
Oh, that is kind of smart though. That is smart. Huh. So it's not just possums that do that. It's a lot of things. That's actually really smart though.
No time to check to see if this one's faking it. And in the same vein, if you live in large groups, you can use this to throw your friends under the bus. If there's a bunch of you running around and the predator thinks you're immobilized, then it might try for some bonus snacks, giving you just enough time to get away. And
Oh my
stopping a
gosh.
predator from trying to immobilize you can be a huge step towards living another day. Many predators have these instincts to subdue struggling prey, like how a dog shakes violently to maybe break a neck. If you suddenly stop struggling, you might be able to stop the shaking too, or at least get it to tone down a bit. And tonic immobility often does seem to change a predator's behavior. Now, some animals, including the opossum, really seem to ham it up. Sometimes the mouth will be open or drool coming out. I mean, the hog-nosed snake should get a f***ing Oscar. And there's plenty of other excellent performances.
Oh my god, is that what it's doing? Oh, yes, this looks very dramatic. This is very theatrical. 10 out of 10.
Coming out. I mean, the hog-nosed snake should get a f***ing Oscar. And there's plenty of other excellent performances. And this has led to the idea that these animals are feigning death, or somehow taking advantage of a predator's instinct not to eat long-dead animals. Adding to this is the fact
It's like this is actually like a really like brilliant idea, but it is kind of goofy looking though. It's kind of funny. Props to him though. Props to him for having this because I bet it has saved their lives in some instances. I would think so.
taking advantage of a predator's instinct not to eat long-dead animals. Adding to this is the fact that some of these animals will defecate or exude a gross-smelling substance. The opossum secretes something from there. But the
Oh.
predator would have to be especially stupid to think that an animal they were chasing a moment ago was now a long-dead, rotting corpse. It might just be that it's unappetizing because it's suddenly weird and gross. Or in some
Oh, I mean, yeah, that makes sense though. You know, like you thought you were getting lunch, then you're like, ew, it's stinky. Yeah, I would probably move on too. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty genius.
It might just be that it's unappetizing because it's suddenly weird and gross. Or in some cases, like with this pygmy grasshopper, the pose that they get into makes it harder for a frog to eat them. However it works,
Oh
it's a
my
good
gosh.
trick, and if you have it, you might bring it out on other occasions. A number of animals seem to go into tonic immobility to avoid the advances of a potential mate. Playing dead is a near universal ick. In the case of this female frog here, it might actually save her life. Collections of horny males often get into a frenzy and form mating balls. Stop it. And that can be
Oh
deadly
my
for a
gosh.
female. Now, even though these animals look completely unconscious, they do seem to be able to still process some aspects of the environment. Some will reduce the time that they're in this state if the threat is past or if there's shelter nearby. And if they're lucky, eventually it's time to wake up. Often a bit groggy and out of sorts, on wobbly legs, sometimes covered in stumbling back to the
Oh my
den
God.
with some serious explaining to do.
Right? Oh gosh. You know that's a bad day though, when you gotta enforce this, when this gets triggered though. That's a bad day. That is a bad day.
No, I didn't go to the bar last night. I'm telling you, there was a fucking dog.
This was great. This was a great video. I really enjoyed this one. I did not know that they're baby making and all parts and things like that. That is all new information. I did know about like them playing dead. I think everybody knows that though. But let me know, what do you call them? Do you call them opossum or possum? Are they both acceptable? Can we all agree that both are acceptable? But this is a great one. I really like this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys being here. As always, please be sure to go and subscribe to Z Frank. He does really, really good videos. I like these a lot. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.